Put your back against the chair. Yeah, there's more than one Welch's. Seriously, dude? Put your back against the chair. George. Give me a look. How are you still in my chairs? Maybe I'll do that, but give me a look. Not your chair, actually. Wow. That.
Yeah.
Tried. Really did try. Sometimes there's two stones that says plus. Where? The bench. See that bench? Oh, probably say the last name of the family. Oh, and there's three of them.
Well, no.
Look at that stone's last name. Mary Beverly. Right there. Like behind the speaker. D-A-B-E-R. M-A-R-E for Mary. Yeah, T-A-B-E-R. That person. No, it's two. Yeah, like Idiot.
Yeah.
I have a leg that I can because part of my bed. Oh, I thought part of my bed. Tickled you because you keep run away now. Stop! I'm a devil to society. Yeah, you are the
Chris, like where's May? So.
Here. That was weird.
Right. Yes. Right.
So I'm reading the ladies. Part of that, the funny part is that every single tribe brought the exact same gift, although it was not planned, scheduled, and nobody said anything. But they all brought the same gift that they and it was the perfect thing to bring. That's what I'm reading. So I'm reading what that gift was.
Dose. Service, and I would like to encourage you to start making your way to the graveside. Those who are in service pallbearers start making your way to the hearse. Yeah, I don't know if there's something.
I'd say, you know, all of you in the front row.
Well,
Or those that
yeah.
in the front row, and then us.
So this row.
You can do this one.
So
Over here, and then you could have Evan and Josh sit here. And then Evan and Josh can sit over here.
You don't have to making the offer. You want to?
no one wants to actually like it.
It's good to do that. There's seats. Like, whatever you're comfortable. Whatever you like. Oh,
Bishops. Ladies and gentlemen, the family's been seated. There are a few extra chairs. Please don't be bashful. If I could also encourage you to come a little further forward, hear the rabbi much better. We'll begin with the psalm. Our greatest defender of the day of the Jewish people, this day, King David, is also the most poetic role model for us in prayer. In all kinds of times of life, times of danger, times of loss, times of sadness, times of joy, times of celebration, times like today, we turn to Psalms, we turn to King David's words. Begin with one. The mountains, the view of the mountains in the distance. Let me say it first. Shir Lamalois, Soinai Alarim, Me'ayin Yevo Ezri, Me'im Adonai, Yosei Shemayim V'aretz, Ayitein Amrod Raglecha, Yanum Shemrecha, Hine lo yanum lo yishon, Shemei Yisrael. Adonai Shemrecha, Adonai Tzilcha, Yadu Minecha, Yamom HaShemesh lo yakeko, V'yareach b'layla. Adonai Yishmar kol michora, Yishmar es nafshecha. Adonai Yishmar tzeisecha v'oecha, Mi'ata v'yad olam. A song of ascents. I raise my eyes to the mountains, whence will come my help. Help is from Hashem, maker of heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to falter. Your guardian will not slumber. Behold, he neither slumbers nor sleeps, the guardian of Israel. Hashem is your guardian. Hashem is your shade at your right hand. By day, the sun will not harm you, nor the moon by night. Hashem will protect you from every evil, will guard your soul. Hashem will guard your departure and your arrival from this time and forever. To dear family, Mark, Cindy, Scott, Kevin, Tony, Julie, grandchildren, beloved grandchildren, Evan, Natty, Josh, Daniel, and Aaron, and all the friends that are gathered. Feels like just the other day we were here for a similar ceremony on a similar day in February for Herbert's funeral, passing, and today we're here to bring to rest and to take care of the final needs in this world of his beloved wife, Beverly. Toba Elkapas Leib. There's got to be a big crowd on the way into heaven right now. Fortunately, there's been many throughout the Jewish world, and even this very week, several of Beverly's friends from a very young age from the Old West Side have been laid to rest along with her. I'd like to say a few words and give a brief biographical sketch, and then Mark and some of the any of the family else who would like to speak will say a few words as well. Beverly Morton Toba Elkamas Leib was born April 3rd, 1938, here in Denver, to Louis and Frida Chrysler. She was one of the West Siders about whom there's a certain almost like lore that we think about the old Jewish communities sort of roots in the West Side, and she was a rich part of that community. Family shared that from her youth, she was very gregarious, and she knew and was known to the whole community, well known, and she knew everybody from kindergarten and on, and she would remember them. In fact, just this morning, I was at a Shiva house for where was being commemorated the loss of Ronnie Schiff. And Ronnie's wife, Yibal Chaim Tovim, Sandy, mentioned that when I said Beverly Morton, she didn't recognize the name. But when I said Beverly Chrysler, she was overcome with grief. And she remembered your mom well, the great friendship, one of a small group of ladies that used to hang out together at the JCC down in Colfax, maybe before all of your time. But there were memories, fond memories shared about Beverly. Beverly knew how to make friends and keep them. She was beloved. She loved many others. She loved to hug and wave. And she made friends, and her friends were friends for life. Having grown up in the West Side, she went to East High School. And although the story is somewhat locked in myth, she met her husband-to-be, Herbert, on a blind date when they were both in high school, it seems. And although they dated for a number of years, he had moved to Pueblo, originally with family business. Finally, someone said, look, save yourself some gas and just marry her already. Stop driving from Pueblo. A beautiful story. They were married on October 25th, 1958, which is, if you're correct, is today. Today would have been their 66th anniversary. 65th. The two of them moved, Herbert and Beverly, to Pueblo, where Herbert was involved in some amazing family businesses. I was looking back through some of the things that I'd learned about the businesses, whether it was a couple of square blocks of Pueblo between 5th and 6th, whether it was the magazine and record store, ice cream shop, many of the other wonderfully successful businesses they engaged in. And it enabled them to be philanthropic and to give. I asked the family what was a cause that she liked to give to? And Kevin told me she gave to everyone. whenever she was asked. They were very generous people together. Beverly loved to give, loved to support. While in Pueblo, she was highly involved in the Junior League, a women's charitable organization, and gave her lots of opportunities over many, many years to contribute, to be involved in many good causes, many projects. In addition to make lots of good friends, and even later with her experience to mentor some of her juniors, to pass on the wealth of her experience. Together, Herbert and Beverly lived a great life. They were blessed with wonderful success and the opportunity to enjoy and to raise their children in a home that had lots of love, lots of fun, lots of opportunities. They themselves, whether it was mahjong, bridge, or hosting any dinner parties, apparently their house was the place to be. Even was appeared in the 71 edition of Better Homes and Gardens. It was in a place for a great party. And they were welcoming. Not only that, but Beverly was a great cook. She loved to cook. And she had a wonderful relationship with her mother-in-law, who was also a professional chef. And I can taste the chocolate chips that I heard about, the delicious, best chocolate chips ever. Beverly and Herbert, after he retired rather early, after lots of wonderful business efforts, they loved to travel. Apparently, they traveled to all 7 continents, including Antarctica. Traveled, made friends wherever they went. Gregarious people, both of them, fun-loving people, that they took an interest. One of the most beautiful things that I heard when I was listening to the family last night tell stories was how much Beverly would take an interest in other people. She was caring, she was considerate, she was interested. She, as a classic Jewish mother, she worried for other people. It's a sign of a great Jewish love to worry on someone else's behalf. A beautiful thing, really a beautiful thing. Very compassionate nature. The family will tell the stories. I'm sure we'll hear about some of their adventures, but whether it was Hawaii, whether it was Africa, they made a point of enjoying their time together. A beloved couple, one to another, and they spent time together with great love of life. Beverly is described as bubbly, always with a smile on her face, laughing, pleasant, a wonderful person with joy in her heart, and a laugh. And if the laugh was sometimes, she was the reason that everyone was laughing. Now she was good-hearted about it, good-spirited about it. Amazing quality. Over the course of their almost close to 65 years together, the two of them really were beloved, took good care of each other, cared for each other tremendously. Herbert loved to shower Beverly with gifts. And they loved to tell their stories and share their stories of their adventures together. Beverly was a person that inspired friendship and that people cared about her and would do much for her. Our sages say, based on a beautiful verse, Kamayim panim al panim kein lev ha'adam la'adam. Just like a face reflects in the water, if you look down into a pool of water, your face reflects back. So too, the people reflect back to you the way that you treat them, the way that you speak to someone. They recognize it and they respond in kind. And Beverly was a beloved person because she loved, because she cared. And the people would respond and they made friends wherever they went, and they kept their friends. In addition, what was truly important to Beverly was her family and friends. That was there. If we drew as I asked for one perhaps takeaway, one lesson, what was most meaningful? What was she most passionate about? It would be her family and friends. And I'd like to just share following, and then I'm going to ask Mark to come up and speak. As we come today to gather, we pay our last respects, our honor, try to find each one of us something special, some memory perhaps, something either that we're learning for the first time today or that we always knew. But if there's something that we could take with us from today, something that we value and that we treasure, and that was really a hallmark of what's important to Beverly, it would be care for each other, care for family, care for friends, compassion that we should show each other. It's an incredible lesson. It's an incredible testament to come to the end of one's life and to have that said about you. It's an amazing thing. That should be the hallmark of her life. And let us take that away, all of us, as a tribute. That it should be a tremendous, continuous merit for her soul and the elevation of her soul in heaven. That we should value each other, friends, and particularly family, as she did. Ask Mark to come up and say a few words.
I tried to get the font large enough so I didn't need glasses, but it doesn't go past 128. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Mark. I'm Beverly's oldest child. And on behalf of our family, I want to thank you all for joining us today to celebrate the life of our mother, Beverly Jean Morton. Our mother has 4 children. I'm the oldest, Cindy, Scott, and Kevin. My mother had 2 daughters-in-laws, my wife, Tony, Kevin's wife, Julie. Our mother also had 4 grandsons and 1 granddaughter-in-law, Evan and Maddie, Josh, Daniel, and Aaron. And we're thrilled that our mom did know that she was going to become a great grandma. In December to Charlie Jr. And I have to tell you, my mom loved talking about her grandchildren. She wanted to know everything they were doing. They were her joy. And she would often attend the events of the grandchildren when she could. Our mother passed away on October 24th at the age of 85. 65 years ago today, our mom and our dad were standing before their family and friends, joining together in marriage. 65 years later, they are still together. Our mom really missed our dad. She affectionately referred to our dad as Herbie, and in return, he affectionately referred to her as Beverly Jean. I can hear him saying, Beverly Jean, right now. Our mom grew up in Denver with her mother and father and 3 brothers. She loved her parents very much and talked about them all the time. Her mother passed away at a very early age of 67. and my mom missed her dearly. Mom would often talk about her dad and always end with, "Wasn't my dad so cute?" I'd like to share a cute story about our mom and her dad. My grandfather taught my mom how to drive. And there was one lesson that my mother always talked about. My grandfather would take her to a parking lot where she could start learning how to drive. And he was teaching her during this lesson about the importance of emergency braking. So during this drive in the parking lot, he told her to start out. And when he shouts emergency brake, you come to an immediate stop. So they started driving, and randomly my grandpa shouts emergency stop. My mom gently applied the brakes and came to a gradual and very slow stop. My grandfather told her, "That's not what I told you. That's not what I'm trying to teach you. When I tell you you need to come to an emergency stop, that's what you need to do. Something could be in front of you." He said, "Let's try it again." They started out driving, and he yelled out, "Emergency stop." This time, my mom slammed on the brakes, and my grandfather hit his head on the dashboard. My mom told me that he yelled at her for stopping so suddenly, and "Why did you do that?" And she said, "You told me to." Needless to say, that was the end of that particular driving lesson. Our mom loved sharing stories about her life. Although my mom and dad lived in Arizona for a time, Mom spent most of her adult life living in Pueblo, which is where she raised her family. She had memories of her time there. She talked about them often. The Follies was one of those memories. Once a year, my mom, along with her friends, looked forward to being a red hot mama. They performed this. It was a musical event at the Follies every year. It was a huge event. People looked forward to it. It sold out every year. From then on, she was affectionately known when people would see her around town as a red hot mama. And boy, did she love the attention. Our mother loved to sing and dance. She was 3 years old the first time that she was on stage. She continued to perform until she was about age 70. In between those performances, she loved to paint. She was an amazing artist. And I hope that you have had at some point in time a chance to see her paintings. They're amazing. For many years, our mom was a member of Junior League in Pueblo. She was very proud to be a part of that organization. In addition to her responsibilities with Junior League, she did take on the time to mentor the newer members. Our mom and dad spent the last couple of their years together at the Shalom Park Nursing Home. When our dad's health was declining, there were many nights that our mother would sleep in a chair by his bedside just to make sure he was breathing. During that time, our dad wasn't eating much either. My mom would try to make sure he ate a little bit at every meal. This is in addition to the care that the nursing home provided. My mom still felt it was her responsibility to help, and she wanted to do this to help take care of my dad. That was just our mom, caring and compassionate, always worrying about somebody else. Well, Mom, at the end of every phone call, you would say, "I love you." And then you would continue to say, "But I love all my kids. I love Mark. I love Cindy. I love Scott. I love Kevin. I love Tony. I love Julie. I love all my grandkids." That's how every phone call ended with my mother. Although this is the end of the phone calls, you'll always be with us. Your kids, your grandkids, your family. We all love you, Mom. Thank you.
Just want to conclude with the beautiful, I want to credit and recognize the beautiful way that family and from what I saw through Kevin, I really believe that you should be recognized for the beautiful care that you took of your parents, especially your mother in her last years. Health decisions are never easy these days, and there's a lot of it. Now, having discussed with you many times, Kevin, that you and your family made the right decision. You did everything that you should have and that you could have. They're not easy things, but your love for your mother and for your parents shone through. And here you are now to do the last that we can, pay our final respects today. That's going to include, in just a moment, we're going to lower the casket into the ground, and we're going to have an opportunity to fulfill the mitzvah of burial. It's not a mitzvah, as has been said, it's a mitzvah that we look forward to. But it's the last kindness today that we can do for a person who was so kind and compassionate and cared for us, and we can care for her. And so that's what we're going to do together. First, we're going to ask you to stand, and we're going to make a blessing together.
Blessing which you recognize. Blesses everything. Those days that it's blessing things for somebody. Blessing for somebody else. That becomes a for the other ones, we ask for you. That's forgiveness from you for anything that we have done in your honor, literally today. Son of Malachach, shame on the world. I'm going to turn to Shabbat number 2. The way that we pass the Shabbat traditionally is not hand to hand, but by putting it back in the dirt. The family come first, and everyone else would like to come and take a hand and share. Anyone else would like to come to beautiful mitzvah?
while the mitzvah of burial is in process. There's a few verses that we say called Tziduk Adin, which recalls and gives words and expression to our acceptance of the judgment today. Atzur tamim pa'aloi ki yichol d'rechav mishpat, Amanava in Odel Tzedek Yashuhu. Atzur tamim pa'al miyamar lo yim'al kifal, Ashal d'mata ma'al, Nemes v'chayim arid shal v'yav. Atzur tamim b'chol ma'aseh, Miyamar elad ma'yaseh, Mat'aseh, Ha'im v'oiseh chesed chinam lo masaseh, Zchus ha'nekat yaseh ha'kshiv v'aseh. Tzedek b'chol d'rechav, Atzur tamim ercha paim l'rachamim, Chamalna v'chusna ala voice vonim, Kilchadon aslichas ha'rachamim. Tzadik atar Adonai lahamis v'achayos, Asher b'yodecha, Pikedoin kol ruchais, Chalil lecha zichanenu limchais, Yuna inina v'rachamim elena v'kuchais, Kilecha Adon v'rachamim v'aslichais. Adam in ben shana yiyeh, in ela shana yichiyeh, Ma Yisrael loy, Kaloi hayo yiyeh, Baruch Daina emes memis v'chayeh. Baruch Hu ki emes dinoi, in shoyte de kol beinoi, in shalem l'adam cheshbono v'dinoi, v'akol ishmoi v'dayol v'temish. Yedara Adonai ki tzedek mishpatecha, tzitzach b'dvarecha, v'sizka b'shvatecha, ve'in ha'her acha midas shavtecha, tzadik ato Adonai v'yashem mishpatecha. Dayan emes shofed emes v'tzedek v'emes, baruch dayan ha'emes shekol mishpatav tzedek v'emes. Nefesh kol chai b'yodecha, tzedek mal'o yiminecha b'yodecha, rachim al pleitas soin yodecha v'soin ma'ala ma'aloch erech yodecha. Kadola Eitza v'rola Lilia asher necha v'kuchais v'kol dakei b'nei Adam lo seis nishki d'recha v'yichil ha'lalov. Hidki ashar Adonai tzuri v'lav losa b'ay Adonai nasan, Adonai v'kach v'yishem Adonai v'rach. V'chumi chater Avonu l'shchiz v'val shivat v'lo yoyer kol kamaseh. Since the grave is covered, basically, we're going to continue now with the Kaddish and memorial prayer. So we're going to try and face Jerusalem, which is this way. We're going to say it together. Iskadel, Iskadei, Shemei Rabo, Yolamo, Divu, Asi, Lachatoso, Lachayo, Messiah. Savi Yasai Nechayolma, Karta Yerushalayim, Shachlei Chola Begava, Mekapol Chana Nuchara Me'ava, Savapol Chana Dishmayol Yasrev, Yamlich Budsha, Verifu, Machusei Vikarei, Haye Chana V'Yamechana, Haye V'Kabeis Yisrael, Vagolav is man Karev Imru Amen. Hey Shemei Rabba, Mebarach, Nolam, Lamel Mayo, Yisbarach, Yishtabach, Yisbar, Yisramam, Yisnasei. Isadav, Isalev, Isalon, Shmid Kudeshav, Riva. Elam, in Kover Kasav, Shirasa, Tishmakasav, and Echemasa, Namiran Bianav, Imramin. Hey, Shlama, Rabba, in Shemaya, Chayim, Alain, Makal, Israel, Imru, Amen. Say Shalom, Imraim, Yaseh, Shalom, Alain, Makal, Israel, Imru, Amen. Emole Rachamim Shechem Bamroivim Amtzei Menucha Nechayna Al Chanfei Ashechina V'malois Kedoshim V'tahirim Kezoyar Arakia Masirim Es nishmas Tova Elko Baslev Shalcha Le'am Lamo. Lavo Shemishpachto Noisni Tzedakah Bad Askaras Nishmaso. Began Eden Tehei Menuchaso. Achein Balarachamim. Yastireha B'Seisa Kanafav Loilamim. Yitzror Achaim Es Nishmasa Adonai Hu Nachalasa. V'sanuach v'shalayim al mishkava v'naimar. Amen. O God, full of mercy, who dwells on high, grant proper rest in the wings of the divine presence, in the lofty levels of the holy and the pure ones, who shine like the glow of the firmament, for the soul of Beverly Morton, who went on to her world. Because without making a vow, the family will contribute to tzedakah in her memory. May her resting place be in the Garden of Eden. Therefore, may the Master of Mercy shelter her in the shelter of his wings for eternity. May he bind her soul in the bond of life. Hashem is her heritage, and may she repose in peace on her resting place. And now let us respond. Amen. This ends our service. The family would like to invite everyone back to the house, Kevin's and Julie's house at the 3362 South Boston Court this afternoon after the ceremony concludes until about 7 p.m. And tomorrow is another opportunity for people to pay Shiva visits tomorrow between 10 and 3 as well. We could just make 2 lines going this way, and then all those who assemble the family afterward will walk through the lines. It's a traditional opportunity for all of us to begin to share with the mourners our blessing of comfort. So follow my good friend Jim Cohen's practiced hands. We'll make 2 lines over here. And together the family can walk through the lines, and we're going to wish you together, all of us participate together and wish you a blessing, additional blessing of consolation as you go through. Hamakom Yenachem Etchem B'Soch Shar Avele Zion V'Yerushalayim.
Okay, everyone watching, this concludes our service. Thank you.